Well, it's another day, and I found a hat. It's a steampunk hat that my wife decorated for me, which is absolutely brilliant. Um, and I'm going to tell you a story today. Today is actually the third anniversary of when my mum passed to spirit. And the story is it sort of relates to that because we're always at a loss when we lose somebody of how we're going to remember them. And obviously we remember them in our hearts, in our minds, but sometimes we want something that will actually remember them, that's physical, because the physical's gone, but we still need to remember them. And this story is when my dad died, his ashes were put in an urn, and my mum kept the urn until we decided what we were going to do with them. It costs money to spread ashes onto a grave, believe it or not. So we paid so that my mum could take his ashes and put them in the family grave. Okay. When we got home, there was still some ashes in the bottom of the jar. When my mum died, we did the same thing. So we went down to Southern Cemetery in Manchester, paid for it to be opened up so we could put my mum's ashes in there so they could be back with other family members. But we still had some from my dad, and we know that you have to pay to open up the grave. So I went to the grave digger. I'll call him a grave digger because that sounds better in the story. And he was just stood there on his spade while we were doing our little remembrances and putting the ashes down. And I went up to him and I said, "We've still got some ashes from my dad. Can we put those in as well?" And he looked at me in his very northern Mancunian way, and he said, "What do you want to do that for?" And I looked at him kind of a little bit puzzled, and he said, "Let me show you." And he reached behind his shirt and pulled out a cross on a chain. And he said, "When my dad died, I put some of his ashes and had a cross made and put them in here, and he's with me all the time now." And it made me think. So we didn't put them in the grave. We took both parents' ashes home, and I got them made into this little orb, okay, which was made by a friend of ours, we're good friends of the family. Made the orb. Their ashes are in there, and they're with me all the time now. Obviously, I know they're with me in spirit, and I know lots of good medium friends who've brought them through for me. So that's really nice. But it's that physical touch. So, moving on to the hat. My wife made this, and she's absolutely brilliant at crafting. And some of the touches on this hat, that key on there, that was my dad's key that he was presented on his 21st birthday. So again, just something physical. The white and the grey feathers, we found those at times when we needed reassurance, when we needed the feathers. But the really nice touch is these watches. One of them's my dad's, one of them's my mum's. So they're working out on the steampunk theme. But not only that, what she's done is set the time to 12 minutes past 9. And the significance of that is 2112 is the number that I see repeated everywhere. So 2112 on digital clocks, I see it on gateposts. It's also one of my favourite albums of all time, 2112 by Rush. But I see that everywhere. So even on top of a mountain, we saw it, and it said 2,112 metres above sea level. So those are my numbers. So happy anniversary, ma'am. Okay, I know you're with me. And I've just got these little mementos. They're only little, but they mean the world to me.